Hi, everybody. So we're going to continue reading rules. We're at chapter 8, which begins on page 76. Chapter 8 is called If You Can Only Choose One, Pick Carefully. On Wednesday morning, the minivan is gone from the driveway next door. So I busy myself collecting words and phrases for Jason in the blank spaces of my sketchbook. Words from commercials, conversations, and books run between my doodles and across the backs of my drawings. The driveway remains empty until after dark. An hour before OT on Thursday, I lay my sketchbook open on my desk and flip the pages, hunting for the right words and phrases to put on Jason's cards. Why not? He already has why, but why not is pushier, like why with a fist on its hip. Out my window, I see the minivan still parked next door. Why not? Because mom's calling clients and dad's at work, so David's my responsibility. That's why. Just for an hour, mom said, until we have to go leave for OT. I've put on a Thomas the Tank Engine video, so he shouldn't be any trouble. I pull forward 2 blank cards and scrawl, yeah, right, and whatever. I know she needs me to babysit sometimes, but I hate when she tells me he shouldn't be any trouble. Trouble comes quick with David, and should doesn't have anything to do with it. He should remember to flush the toilet too, but that doesn't mean it happens. When Mom had gone, I took my long mirror off my door and propped it at an angle against one corner of the living room, so I could work at my desk and still see David reflected in the mirror. Every few words I make, I glance out my bedroom door to the mirror. David stands at the TV, the remote in his hands. He loves rewinding the trains backwards up the tracks and speeding them ahead to almost crashing over and over. I turn another sketchbook page and choose among the words written along the edge. Sure, you bet, excellent, perfect, frustrating, pretty, and dazzling to jazz up and stretch the words Jason has in bigger directions. And joke, so he can be sarcastic if he wants. I peek towards the mirror. The TV train steams ahead, billowing smoke towards the shed. Watch out, David repeats, a perfect imitation of the narrator's voice. But at the last second possible before the smash, David hits pause. Jumping in front of the frozen TV picture, he waves the remote in circles like it's a magic wand. Watch out. On the next page is my half-finished portrait of Jason. I pick up a pencil and add the details I couldn't add in the waiting room. Eyelashes, thick eyebrows, and the outline of his thin lips. Part of me wishes I could tear this picture out of my sketchbook and crumple it into a tight ball so I don't hear his mother scolding in my head when she sees it. But the rest of me is bothered that it's incomplete. Too much like a secret. Are you busy? A girl's voice asks. I drop my pencil and flash a look from my unmade bed to the folded clothes piled on my bureau. Cinnamon and Nutmeg crane their necks to week at Mom and the girl from next door standing in my doorway. I saw Christy coming up the walk, Mom says, smiling. Catherine, I have one more call to make. Could you keep an eye on David for a few more minutes? Then I'll take over, I promise. Before I can get out no, I see Mom's legs in the mirror, hurrying back towards her office. David pushes rewind, and Thomas speeds backward again. Come in. I offer my chair, but Christy sits on the edge of my desk, crossing her feet at the ankles. Are you busy? She asks. No. Seeing her up close, I know Christy will be popular, not only for her straight brown hair parted off center, shining down to her elbows, or because she looks just right, even wearing frayed jean shorts and a t-shirt. Christy radiates cool. And I know it as sure as I know David will stop that speeding train at the last second. Part of me feels sorry because she doesn't look like a flashlights and Morse code kid, but the other part of me is excited. I'm glad Mrs. Bowman sold you her house, I say. Well, I guess technically the realtor sold it, but I'm glad your family bought it because I've always thought it'd be great if a kid lived next door. Mrs. Bowman was nice, but she was really, really old. I clamp my teeth together to keep anything else dumb from escaping my mouth. Christy drags a strand of her hair between her fingers. I'm glad, too. I was scared I'd have to start the school year next year without knowing anyone. My lips spread to a smile, imagining Melissa's surprise as I introduced Christy to our group. This is my friend Christy, I'll say. We hung out together all summer. I glance out my doorway to the living room. Where's David? Ryan said there's a bus stop at the end of the street. I lick my bottom lip to keep from grimacing. At the corner. That's great. Christy continues to twist her strand of hair. I need to walk 3 blocks to catch the bus. I used to walk 3 blocks to catch the bus, even when it was freezing or raining. Mom would say, take the umbrella, as though anyone carries an umbrella. David insists on bringing his bright red umbrella to school even when it's only cloudy. My mom's like that too. Leaving out isn't the same as lying. She always says, well, at least wear your hood, I continue, like I'd want hood hair. Christy smiles, letting the twisted strand fall back to her arm. Ryan said he lets kids wait in his house when it's raining, since he can see the bus come from there. But only if you're invited. I peek out the doorway into the empty living room. Part of me would like to tell Christy the truth, but I don't want our conversation to become about David. At the bus stop, I always tell him, you have your umbrella, grabbing the back of his jacket to keep him from following Ryan's friends up the steps. Going inside is for kids without umbrellas. I would be honest, but David doesn't understand invited and not invited. He thinks everything is for everyone. Ryan's nice, Christy says. Don't you think so? Nice as a cockroach. Want some sherbet, I ask? When you want to get out of answering something, distract the questioner with another question. What kind? Christy asks. Raspberry. David rushes through my doorway, his eyes wide with panic, an audio cassette in his hand. Fix it? The tape is pulled out of the cassette, hanging in a long, delicate loop. At first, I'm relieved that that's all that's wrong until my guinea pigs start to squeal. With the cassette over one ear and his hand shielding the other, David yells, Quiet, pigs! Christy shoots a worried glance from David to the guinea pigs to me. I pry the cassette from David's fingers, knowing it'll be faster to deal with the tape than the tears filling his eyes. Don't worry, this will only take a minute. I spin the cassette around and around on my finger, wishing I had two more hands, one to give the guinea pigs hay to quiet them, another to cover David's mouth as he shrieks. I spin the cassette so fast my finger keeps slipping out of the tiny hole. When the tape lies flat and tight, I slide Frog and Toad together into my cassette player and push play. Arnold Lobel's deep voice joins the guinea pig squeals, and David's face lights up like Christmas morning, Halloween night, and his birthday, all rolled into one big grin. You fixed it. Go find Mom, I say, pressing the cassette into his hand, and tell her I'm done babysitting. Before I close the door, I peek into the living room to be sure David's heading towards Mom's office. He disappears down the hallway, swinging his arms. That must be hard, Christy said. Even regular little brothers are a pain. Regular snarls in my stomach. I grab my sticky note and write, Dad, buy a new tape player, and stick it to the back of my door to remember to tell him. Again. To quiet my guinea pigs, I pull strands of Timothy hay from the little bale I keep under the cage. Nutmeg yips as Cinnamon steals her hay. They're so cute, Christy says. Can I hold them? Sure. I toss her a towel. Better put that on your lap just in case they pee. I slid one hand under Nutmeg's chest and cup her back legs with my other. Cinnamon weeps as I set her next to Nutmeg on Christy's lap, and the squealing turns to happy pig cooing. Nutmeg, I thought I'd never see you again. Say, what are you eating? Towel, medium rare, with a hint of fabric softener. Care for a bite? Don't mind if I do. My door bursts open. No toys in the fish tank, David announces. I'll be right back, I say to Christy between my clenched teeth. We're going to pause here and continue with part 2 of chapter 8.